Paul Pierce, former Celtic, 3,600 files on his record. Excuse me, I said files. I meant to say files. So it's a man of excessive force, of excessive means, of excessiveness. Check out the background. He's excessive. And this picture, I believe, was actually shot um, a couple of days or a week before him and his wife decided to get divorced. And I want to say that is a wonderful lady. We are actually the same age. And she's a wonderful lady because I dug around the internet and she's not saying anything. She's an educated woman. She has her BA and I think MA in like interior design or whatever. So I did a little bit of research on her. She is Julie Landrum, his ex-wife. And she's not saying anything at all. And I like women, and I respect women like that. I like when women have that attitude where they're not gonna really get on the internet and sling the mud with these guys and like really, just make a fool of yourself. It's better to let them ramble and let them look stupid, because you come out and you're upset. You may say things, and then people will take it and run with it, and you're like, oh, you can't really take it back. So I'm glad that she stayed silent. Silence is power at times, especially dealing with somebody as flamboyant as this dude is. His perspective is really wild to me. I mean, he's in between. I think he wants marriage again, but I think he realized that he was messed up and he just doesn't want to acknowledge that. Like most men in our community, they don't like to really acknowledge their mistakes. They always try to find a way to make it about you in a relationship. It's always something that you did or something that you were lacking or you could have done more of or something you should have done less of. They never really acknowledge what their problem was. I could see in the background though, this might have been some of it. And mind you, these men about their looks and the ages, because he made a statement about women being over 40 that are, if you're over 40, you are desperate and insecure for some reason. But I mean, if you look in the background, I want to say, you look around the eyes or whatever. She looks like she's around 40 herself. This one here looks a little younger, but she too looks like she might be about 35, 36 years old or whatever. So you see these dudes like they constantly contradict themselves, right? Because if it was about young, you would see younger women behind him. He really, doesn't care. It's just about looseness, having this ability to do this kind of stuff, and they think that it's better to be able to live like this, to have all these loose women, around you, and this is really the life, switching up with all these different women, and it's really not because you don't have a bond, a real connection with these women. They're just there for the take. So I don't see how any human being would feel comfortable with feeling like it's just a bunch of women around me and all they want to do is take. And then they're confused because then when they have wives, it's I don't know. It's like they're scared to have a wife or they want to get out of the relationship with the wife because they feel like she's taken. When in all actuality, that's what, if you marry a woman, that is the woman that you should be sharing with and, live. If you, especially if you have abundance, that should be the woman you should be happy to share it with. And if you made the bad choice of picking somebody who was not really compatible with you in the beginning, that's your fault. But I get tired of these guys coming on here trying to act like it's all black women. Now you see these women, these are their preferences. We got preferences from Cynthia G, the immortal Cynthia G. Oh man. But we got that from her, and we also got the damn, I forget the points. I'm so mad. I wish she was here sitting here talking. But she's like, oh, this that. But we got a lot of different strategy and different names for their behaviors from Cynthia G or whatever. But like I said, he was talking about us being washed up, moving right along, and he also said that women are insecure and desperate at that age. And I'm wondering why he would think that. Is it because he feels insecure and desperate? Because if you look again at the picture, this reeks of insecurity and desperation here, because he's about to get divorced. He's not handling the situation like a grown man. He's like, yin yin, look at me, I'm partying, girl. This is what I'm going to be doing. I know you're mad. You got the kids. You driving in the van. Like just little stupid penny ante shit. Like, why would you be behaving like this if you're about to go through a divorce and you're a grown man? Right? A grown man would. This is something like your teenage boyfriend would do. Like, oh yeah, let me get on my Instagram and put some girls in the background. You would expect that from someone that's 17 or 18 years old, not from somebody who's like 40. So, dude, I really think it's you who's insecure, and he's deflecting and putting that on women, because black men like to do that. And I'm not saying all black men, but some black men with these type of characteristics, these high value dudes on, hey, I got this money, so I should be able to go out and have any woman that I want, and the woman at home shouldn't complain about that because you're taking care of the home, and every other man is looking at y'all like y'all insane for saying this type of shit out loud. Because yeah, men cheat or whatever, but nobody is as flamboyant as these guys are about it. They really come out and they really believe this shit, man. They really think that because they have money, they should be able to just live reckless and do whatever they want. I don't know who taught them that. Where did you get, like, where are they getting their knowledge from? Because if you agree to commit to marry someone, that means that all this type of stuff right here should be out of your system. And you should be happy to be with, the woman that, you chose to marry. You picked her. Okay? So you picked her, so don't try to cast it out on the whole world because you picked her and maybe you wasn't satisfied with what you got. But like again, I want to shout out to her and commend her again for not coming out and getting in the back and forth, and let him wreaking it by herself. The co-host, she went crazy too a little bit. I wish I knew homegirl name, because she was saying that yeah, it's these women out here in their 40s and they're chasing NBA players and they're getting pregnant. I'm like, dude, really? Like, it's women in their 40s that are chasing NBA players? Like, is that really what's happening? Because on the other end, you hear these guys saying, well, if you're 40 and up, he just said you're insecure and washed up. So why would women in their 40s be chasing after NBA players? When in fact, it's the younger girls. I know she brought up Drea, and Drea's about 40, but Drea looks great, for her age or whatever. So uh, um, it's not far fetched that a guy would be like, oh, he would be attracted to her or any other woman that they consider as being beautiful, no matter what her age is. Susan Lucci, shout out to the great Susan Lucci. And I'm just making fun here, whatever like that. But she was getting it knocked down till she was about 70. Okay, men were carrying Susan Lucci around, or whether she was hot and desired for a lot of years because she took care of her body. She took care of the way she looked, so she looked good for a very long time. And if you do that as a woman, and you can look good, and you can have relationships with men, you can get married, you can do whatever you want. I don't know where these guys get this from. I don't know who's raising them, what have they seen in their lives or whatever. This shit is bullshit. This shit is bullshit. And I just wanted to speak on that right quick, and just like the mental mindset of these guys. I just, it's very destructive and it's very dangerous, because they're out here speaking, and some young males are still very impressionable, and having these type of dudes out here, it's horrible. I listen to them and I'm like, wow, these guys don't make any sense, and it all goes back to money. They all focus on, if I have this money and I can provide this to you, then I can do whatever I want. Like, just reckless, lawless. I can go out here and make babies. If you married a woman, why the hell are you going out here making babies in other women? That makes no sense. But hey, I'm worth millions of dollars. If that's what he did, you should forgive him. That's another point that I wanted to bring up that he made. He said that like, I guess if you're in your 40s or whatever, your late 30s or 40s, and your man cheats on you, you should forgive him for that and stay with him, because if you get with another guy, the other guy is gonna have other women, and he's not gonna give you any type of commitment, right? So this is, I mean, and then I'm saying to myself, well, what makes you think that if she It could be two things. It could be she just needs to feel good. She needs to feel good, make it vibrate down there. And she's using him for that. And she likes the freedom of that. Like she can have that feeling that she desires from him, and then she doesn't have to have any emotional attachment to that guy. Or it could be that dude is a decent guy, nothing like you. Not saying, poor Pierce per se, because I don't know him personally, but, not like a scumbag. And this is a better guy, and she knows for a fact he's a better guy. And maybe he is going to be willing to commit to her. Who the hell are you to say, whether or not a woman can have love or not or whatever. Like these guys are really ridiculous. I don't know if it's the Hollywood air, the money, the jet, flying, what they smoking and drinking up there. Are they flying higher than the other planes? Like, maybe they're not leveraging out correctly. I don't know what's going on with these guys, but they all come on here and talk this crazy shit. Even the little thousandaires, because you got the thousandaires on here, they got some thousands, and so they come on here and talk buku shit, much shit or whatever about how they want subservient women and all of that and need a girdle and all your whole host of other shit. They come up here talking all type of crazy shit about women and whatever, and it just doesn't make any sense or whatever. But I just wanted to give my take on this. I hope black women don't go crazy anymore about these statements. This is what I'm gonna say, and then I'm gonna end this. Stop letting these guys trigger you, because they know if they make a video and they say some crazy shit, it doesn't even have to be us in the frame. Like his ex-wife is not an American Negro. The woman he's on the podcast with is not an American Negro. The women behind him are not an American Negroes. But somehow it gets directed towards us. And then we jump in and feel like we have to defend it. We don't have to defend this shit no more. Women, black, I'm proud to say that the sisters out in Memphis are really doing their thing. They are expected to have business growth, I think about 9%, about 18%, 18.34% out in Memphis. They're doing their thing out there. Black women across the nation are rapidly growing in business, small business. Some are employers. Some are single run businesses or whatever. But even, that's where I see black women going, towards business and enterprise, wanting to own. I know they want. I want it. We want it. And we're running that way, and we're gonna fall and whatever. And we're gonna get back up or whatever. I see, more women focus on their bag more than like really marriage and relationships in our community, because we realize that a lot of our men are just jacked up. And if you are in your 40s, this is what you're getting: a lot of damaged older guys. A lot of these guys in my age group I'm happy that I was married twice. The first marriage didn't work out or whatever, but the second one was great. And my husband passed away, and I'm great. And I'm like, he's like the last of Mohegans for me, or to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's not a lot of men out here who are like him, who are loyal, who are worthy of just genuinely being with and just like trusting or whatever. Like that, it's a lot to be in a relationship these days, and if you don't have trust and honesty and stuff like, and it's not like that, for these relationships. From what I see, it's a lot of secrecy. It's a lot of people with these alternative lifestyles trying to mesh and mix it in. It's just crazy. It's crazy. And you got, like I said, a lot of these guys are just damaged. They're just damaged and they're gone. But they should get some therapy for themselves or whatever. But I want black women to be well mentally and continue growing in business. I'm very proud to say that we are doing that. Okay, and don't let nobody take that away from you. Keep succeeding, and you will find love if that's what you want. And if you don't let anybody tell you that you ain't got no man. Okay, where your man at? Yeah, you got some success, but you ain't got no man, bitch. Be happy. The hell with what they talking about. Okay.